You're watching DIYNate. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to tell me about your project in the comments. Alright folks, on this quick episode of DIYNate, I've got a Ryobi string trimmer, and you'll notice this is an 18-volt string trimmer, and a lot of these 18-volt string trimmers have this plastic head here, and sometimes you might come across an issue, and I've seen this with several people that I've come across, that have the action here on the auto advance string line not working. Now in my case, I fixed it, and it is now working, and if I push the button, I can auto advance the line. So as you can see here, I can move the line forward and it expands out. But what you'll notice on some people's string trimmers, and we'll go through this process in just a minute here, is once you take the cap off and you take the spool out. So with this part right here, sometimes you'll see people have lost that spring that's in there, and if you see that, this whole part will slide forward and backward, and it just doesn't auto advance. So in my case, I've already repaired this, but we're gonna go to the shop here, and we're gonna take it apart and put it back together, and I'll show you exactly how to get that spring in there, because it is a little bit tricky, and there's one little secret tip that I didn't know of until I finally figured it out, and how to get that spring back in there once it comes out. So you might have to order a spring if you've lost yours, but once you get it going, it should work well for you. So let's get to it and we'll knock it out. So as you can see, my string trimmer working just fine here. This is good. And if I need to advance the line here, I can just click that and it moves out. Click it and pull on the string and it'll advance, but normally it'll auto advance on its own. What the issue is, the spring has come out. Now you can order these springs as well, and I will leave a link in the video description, but for now I'm just going to put that spring right there. Now if you need to get to that spring, you can use a pair of pliers like this to get in there and kind of yank that spring out. That spring lives right here, but you may be trying to figure out how to get that spring back in, and it is kind of a complicated process, so I'm going to show you the trick. So in this case, what we're going to do, we're going to take our needle nose pliers. You can grab it wherever you can get a hold of this little plastic piece. You're going to slide it all the way in. What we're trying to do is get that plastic piece out of there. You might have to yank it a little bit and kind of force it, but be careful not to bend it if you can help it. Once you got that piece out, here is the trick, and this is the secret behind it. Look at that. It's got a hole on the front side. So the trick here, and you're not going to know this until you pull that out or unless you watch this video, is to take that spring and put it in like that. And watch out, that spring will jump out on you and try and get away. So then to get it in, you're like, hey, how am I going to do that? There's probably a few different ways. The way I like to do it is I'm going to take this spring here and I'm going to point it into the string trimmer here at an angle. And I'm going to be, again, careful. But we're going to put him in like that and try and get him in there without bending him if we can help it. A better option might be going upright. So we're going to spin him around this way. And we're going to go up like so. And we're going to push up against there, try and get him in that wedge as best you can. As you're doing that, you got that guy in there. Now you should be mostly in place. It's gonna try and move on you a bit, and there are some parts that are like kind of resisting you as you try and get him in there, so you might have to move him around a little bit. Let's try him and see if we can get him out the door here. There's a little plastic piece you might have to force a little bit with your needle nose, but once you've got him, you're back in action. And that's all it is. That secret little hole in there that you can't see from the top side is the trick. So now we're ready to go. We pop our little spool of string back in there. It's good to go. Pop this guy back on, and your string trimmer is ready to rock and roll. Put our string back in here, and as you can see now, we're going to put our little cap on. And you can see the little auto advance button here. As we click it, it now moves out like it should. We'll go ahead and crank this up. Hope that helped you out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if it did. Have a great day. You've been watching DIYNate. If you enjoyed this video, here are a couple more YouTube things you might like. Thanks again for watching.